Hello, trainers. Professor Palm here, and I'm kind of sorry for starting a little slow today. It's just, I've had horrible nightmares the past few nights, and every one of them has been worse than the last one. So I've kind of become a little bit of an insomniac and have kind of kept myself awake. I've been doing a lot of research, and yeah, I guess that kind of explains why my lab coat's inside out and why I have a very unkempt appearance. I have no idea what's been haunting me, and to be honest, how do Pokemon with the ability Insomnia do it? They look great for never sleeping.
Oh man, that was some great sleep I've had. I felt like I was sleeping on clouds. Oh jeez! Professor Prom, you don't look all that well. You look dead tired.
Huh? Oh, hey Professor Sassafras. I haven't slept these last few days.
Haven't slept in a few days? Well, when did this all start?
Well, Professor, I think it was Monday. No. It was Tuesday, to be honest. I don't know anymore, okay? I don't know. I've been up for so many hours. I've forgotten what day it is. I don't even know the time anymore. Time has been moving so slowly. This is what happens when you don't sleep. How is so many Pokemon out there able to have the ability of insomnia? It makes no sense. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm sorry, Professor Sassafras. I've had such horrible dreams that it's really forced me to stay up. I was having good dreams. While I tried to sleep off that first nightmare, it just got worse and worse. I'm too scared to close my eyes and even go back to dreamland. Well, at least you look well rested.
Thanks! It's all because I managed to get my hands on a lunar wing.
Lunar wing? Right! The Lunar Wing! The item that brings good sleep as well as good dreams to people. Ugh, I really need to get my hands on one of them. So, you have one, Professor. Where'd you get it?
I got it from meeting Cresselia on one of my travels. This item is said to protect those from Darkrai who supposedly give people nightmares.
Wait, are you telling me that it's been Darkrai? Darkrai? All this time, I've been having bad dreams and been unable to sleep because of that Pokemon? I thought it was a Muna or a Musharna with a twisted sense of humor or a Freddy Krueger-like Pokemon. No, it was the pitch black Pokemon this whole time. Well, at least I can stop doing my research to know why I've been having nightmares. At least you answered that question for me, Professor.
No, but I guess you consider Darkrai like Freddy Krueger in the nightmares and haunting dreams aspect. Darkrai and Cresselia are two Pokemon most people know very little about when it comes to what they do.
Well, Professor Sassafras, speak of the devil. We were just talking about the Dream Team, and look who just so happened to arrive. I know that they're known as the Lunar Duo, but I think that since they're responsible for giving us all sorts of dreams, we should call them the Dream Team. Now that we have Cresselia and Darkrai with us, maybe we should both talk about the literal Dream Team. After all, Cresselia and Darkrai aren't just responsible for the dreams we have when we're asleep, they're also responsible for the hopes and dreams of everyone out there. After all, a lot of us have goals and a lot of us have dreams that we really wish to achieve. Of course, sometimes making it there can be a nightmare, but it's always good to have thoughts as well as things that you want to get done.
That sounds like a great idea. We could discuss what Cresselia can do and even Darkrai too, and how sometimes you get sweet, loving dreams.
And sometimes, like me, you have horrible nightmares. Also, you have a nightmare realizing that your dream might be a little harder to get to. So, yeah. Well, every dream has a path. Sometimes some are harder to achieve. Well, I think we should talk all about the Lunar Duo. But before we do that, HTTP Koopa, I'd like to give you a very special thanks for my Dark-type jersey. This is actually the jersey worn by Gym Leader Piers, who's the leader of Team Yell. So, if you love Dark-type Pokemon, you think Team Yell was a lot of fun, or you think the shirt looks incredible, then I would personally say, please check out HTTP Koopa and buy this shirt from him. I may not be sponsored, but of course I want to give a talented artist some good business, and I think that you should too. Even though we're talking about the Lunar Duo today, while one is dark and the other is psychic, I thought dark is the perfect typing. After all, a lot of us love it to be dark when we dream, and the best time to sleep is in pure darkness. I also want to give a very special thanks to you, Darkrai, for these horrible nightmares you've given me the last few nights.
Well, I guess since I've been blessed with a lunar wing, I could talk about Cresselia. Makes sense given you're, troubled with sleep, so to speak.
Well, Professor Sassafras, since I've been having horrible nightmares the last few nights and have been unable to sleep, maybe I should cover Darkrai. After all, you have yourself a lunar wing and you've been having yourself some good dreams. So maybe you should talk all about the good dream guardian, Cresselia. And trust me, like Marilyn Monroe one time said, sweet dreams are made of this.
Cresselia, the lunar Pokemon, is based off Qianghua, the goddess of the moon from Chinese mythology, mainly because of its moon look. It also draws inspiration from the Estonian goddess of birds, Lindu. But another thing that's very interesting to know about it is the rings on it as well as its hands, which are said to be based off the Milky Way, which, according to Professor Laventon's research, is said to be where Cresselia is born and came from. Cresselia is one of the few legendary Pokemon to have a gender, and just like the legendary Eon Pokemon Latias, Cresselia is female. Cresselia is nocturnal, and not only does it come out at night, but also comes out only on nights when the moon is out. Under the nights of the quarter moon, the aurora from its tail extends and covers its body in a beautiful veil of moonlight. During the nights of a full moon, it is said that you can see Cresselia's true power at 100%, as Cresselia has the ability to make a light show in the night sky very similar to that of northern lights. So if you see night lights, then you'll know Cresselia is nearby, giving you a chance to look at this beautiful light show. If you look at Cresselia's body from this angle, you'll see it has a little bit of a bird design, very similar to that of a nightingale, and it also drops feathers, or as we like to call them, lunar wings. For those who hold one of those lunar wings, they are guaranteed a good night of rest and a good dreams. But even if you don't have a lunar wing and you bond with Cresselia, this Pokemon will look into your heart, and if it sees a pure heart, not only will it bless you with good dreams, but also bless you with good luck and a good night's sleep. Shiny particles are released from its wings like a veil. They're not only meant to protect Cresselia from attacks, but they're also there to help it fly and to give it the appearance of a moon fairy. Also, if you see these wings on the night of a full moon, they are a sight to behold. Yep, Cresselia's beauty knows no bounds. Cresselia's power can be said to be unbound, especially during nights of a lunar eclipse. Something that you should know is that people didn't believe that Cresselia didn't come from Earth, but rather it came from space, the Milky Way galaxy if you will, and the place it's said to come first was none other than New Moon Island. That's where it's also said that Cresselia goes during the day, but at night it loves to travel all around. And some people even go on record saying that the reason why Cresselia loves New Moon Island, because it's the most perfect place to see the moonlight, as well as the lunar eclipse. On an interesting note, despite many moves with the moon in the name, being turned into fairy-type moves in Generation 6, Cresselia stayed a psychic type and the signature moves were left untouched. I guess the main reason for this is because Cresselia is seen as the lunar Pokemon, and its moves having the word lunar in them, so I guess it's a bigger difference between moon and lunar, despite them meaning the same thing. Cresselia made her main series debut in Pokemon DP Battle Dimension, episode Sleepless in Pre-Battle, where Cresselia helped Ash and the residents of Canalave City get better sleep after stopping Darkrai, who caused everyone in Canalave to have endless nightmares. In the games, Cresselia has not one, but two signature moves, and they are Lunar Dance and Lunar Blessing. While they both sound amazing, they unfortunately hurt Cresselia than help it. You see, Lunar Dance knocks it out, but gives all its power to the next Pokemon, restoring everything. Health, stats, as well as PP. Power points, by the way. And Lunar Blessing can be very helpful as it restores HP and heals it of its status conditions. But this unfortunately harshly lowers Cresselia's accuracy, making it very easy to miss. Despite Cresselia flying, it's not a psychic flying type. Its ability to levitate ensures that it can fly, so yeah. Its levitation is coming not just from its ability, but also its psychic powers. In the Super Smash Bros. Series, Cresselia can also appear on Spear Pillar stage. That's right, instead of Dialga or Palkia, it's a very rare spawn Cresselia will appear, and she'll use the move Psycho Cut, so please avoid it. Just remember, you're not only dealing with the being of time and the being of space, but you're also dealing with the power of the shining moon. There have been many times, not just in the anime, but in some games as well, where Cresselia takes it upon herself to be the heroine as well as the guardian of peace. In Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time and Explorers of Darkness, as Cresselia appears as an ally who has made her main mission to foil Darkrai's plans to plunge the world into darkness, as well as an endless nightmare. In Pokemon Rangers Shadows of Almia, Cresselia is the guardian of the Yellow Gem, one of the few gems that is needed to protect the world from Darkrai's reign. Cresselia also returns to help you fight Darkrai in the last battle after you capture him. While Cresselia has been known for bringing light into darkness and bringing good dreams, it's time to see where nightmares are born and fade into darkness. Professor Palm, I believe it's your turn to tell us what real nightmares are when we have a look at Darkrai. And just looking at this Pokemon makes me know that nightmares have been real.
Darkrai the Pitch Black Pokemon is based on the Slavic mythological creature Noshnisa, which was a nightmare demon that would torment people, but especially children at night, as well as feast on their dreams, and oftentimes give them bad dreams. However, Darkrai also is very well known for being based on the fabled creature that children feared most of all that would eat them during the night, the Boogeyman. While Darkrai is genderless, there have been a bunch of other games where Darkrai is referred to as a male. After all, it's the opposite of Cresselia of the Lunar Duo. Even though Darkrai is a pure Dark-type Pokemon, it's been shown to have a couple of Ghost-type powers. Other than learning a few Ghost-type moves, Darkrai has been able to phase through solid objects as if it's a ghost. It does beg the question, how is it not like Spiritomb or Sableye? How is it pure dark with ghost-like powers and not a dark ghost? Darkrai is nocturnal and is only active during the nights of a new moon or even moonless nights. Being a Dark-type Pokemon, Darkrai really enjoys the pitch blackness in the sky. It's also very territorial, as Darkrai chases people and Pokemon from its territory, putting them into a deep sleep, as well as giving them endless nightmares. Since Darkrai and Cresselia are both the masters of sleep, they can put you to bed with just the snap of their fingers, and you'll be stuck in a very heavy sleep that almost nothing can wake you up from. Just like with Freddy Krueger, Darkrai will invade your dreams and make you see your greatest fears come to life. So yeah, good luck getting out of that dream. You better have someone on standby to wake you up. Oh, and even touching Darkrai can be just as bad because of its cursed body. It's not its ability, it's just what happens is you'll be seeing your greatest fears, and also you're in for a week of sleepless nights because you're going to be having nightmares every night. Well, most times people wake up from Darkrai's horrible nightmares and manage to see another day. Unfortunately, there's some that we know that never made it out of there. One of them is the Ghost Girl in Pokemon Black and White and Black and White 2. After going through the strange house, we've learned, sadly, she was one of Darkrai's victims. Who knows how many other victims there are out there and other ghosts that Darkrai has made. Even though Darkrai is a Freddy Krueger Pokemon and it also has claimed lives because of its bad dreams, it really has a big heart and feels terrible for what it does. It means no harm towards anyone. How Darkrai can levitate is unknown because its ability is not levitate and it's also not a flying type Pokemon. But something kind of crazy about it is Darkrai also can make legs by extending its stilt-like appendages on the bottom of it, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, it's definitely the stuff of nightmares. Darkrai made its anime debut in the Pokemon movie The Rise of Darkrai, where it was the protagonist and hero as Darkrai held off the fight between Dialga and Palkia until Ash and Dawn could put the discs in the towers of time and space, causing the music to calm the fight between Dialga and Palkia. While it would fight, Darkrai tried to protect the city so no one else would get caught in the blast. Darkrai made its main series debut in the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl Battle Dimension episode, Sleepless in Pre-Battle. Unlike the Darkrai in The Rise of Darkrai, this Darkrai was malicious and it enjoyed causing nightmares as well as eating them, so it would get even stronger. It was only stopped by Cresselia and Ash's intervention, giving all the people of Canalive City good sleep and good dreams back. In Pokemon Sinnoh League Victors, Darkrai was owned by a trainer named Tobias, who used his Darkrai to sweep through the competition. This Pokemon went undefeated until it finally took on Ash's Sceptile that destroyed it once and for all. In the games, since Darkrai is known for giving nightmares, its ability Bad Dreams really comes in handy as it reduces the foe's HP when it's asleep. However, putting a Pokemon to sleep is pretty easy for Darkrai, as its signature move, Dark Void, comes in handy. It drags the opponent into a world of darkness, putting them to sleep. However, using this move can be risky, as it has a 50% chance of hitting. Outside of the core series games, Darkrai has filled the void as being a villain, as well as the main antagonist in a bunch of games. After all, it's the final boss in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Time, and Explorers of Darkness, Pokepark 2, Wonders Beyond, and Pokemon Ranger, Shadows of Almaya. Surprisingly, this Pokemon does not appear as the final boss in Pokemon Conquest, when I think that probably would have been a great role for Darkrai to fill.
When it comes to taking on the powers of the Shining Moon, Cresselia unfortunately does have a few weaknesses, as these Pokemon blot out the moonlight. So don't use Cresselia against Ghost, Bug, and Dark. Yep, after all, darkness blots out all of the light, so yeah, Psychic moves won't hurt Dark-type Pokemon.
When it comes to taking on nightmares and being lost in the dark, the best thing that you can use to take on Darkrai would be Bug, Fighting, and as of Generation 6, Fairy. While we've seen what's the best thing to beat nightmares, let's look at strengths and see what you take on when you face the moon and pure darkness of nightmares.
Being the power of the Shining Moon, Cresselia also has a few strengths, as these Pokemon you don't use against Cresselia. They are, of course, Cresselia's strengths being Fighting and Poison. While Cresselia has two strengths, it also has an immunity, and that immunity, of course, is Ground. So yep, because it flies, Ground-type moves will not do any damage towards it.
If you want to unleash the nightmares and blot the light using the darkness, please use Darkrai in battle against Ghost and Psychic. But Psychic also serves as an immunity to Dark-type. After all, the darkness smothers the light. Still pretty tired, but I just want to say is, while we may not know why we dream, we do know the Pokemon who bring us our dreams. As you know, sweet dreams are made of this, but the nightmares have been real.
Cresselia and Darkrai are two Pokemon that hold a big responsibility, giving dreams whether good or bad. They're also what go bump in the night.
Sometimes our greatest dreams as well as greatest fears come from both the lunar duo. While it's never wrong to have dreams, it's also never wrong to be scared or have fears.
Dreams do come true, but so do nightmares. While it's never set in stone of what happens, it's better to make those come to life than fear and give up trying.
Well said, Professor. Even though Darkrai and Cresselia create dreams, sometimes these dreams have deeper meanings. While it's whatever we want us to decide it to be, sometimes they want us to make our own dreams. Whether they're good or bad, you cannot deny the fact that these Pokemon have made so many people have dreams that have changed life forever. Well, now I know why I've been having such horrible nightmares. It's good that you've been having some good dreams, Professor Sassafras. Oh, hey, if you have a spare lunar wing, could you send me one, please?
It just so happens I have a spare. Rare to have too, I know. I'll send it to you soon, Professor Palm.
Thank you so much, Professor Sassafras. I'm sorry I wasn't in the best of mood. That's kind of what happens when you become an insomniac. But it was great to see you again, and I really enjoyed covering the lunar duo with you. I also hope that you have good dreams tonight.
Exactly! I had a blast covering these two Pokemon with you, and hopefully we can cover and discuss some more sometime in the future. See you later, Palm.
Well, trainers, I'm curious to hear from you. Do you happen to keep a dream journal? Do you like to write down your good dreams? Or do you like to write down your nightmares? Do they ever mean anything to you? Oh, and for the lunar duo, do you prefer Cresselia? Do you like Darkrai? Or do you like them both? Oh, and last of all, do you have any dreams that you've been working on that you hope that you can get accomplished? Or have you ever had your dreams come true? Or were they unfortunately ruined? I really would love to know from all of you trainers. Also, do you think that it would be best for you to sleep with a lunar wing tonight? Or do you feel safe without one? As for me, I definitely need that lunar wing so I can get some shut-eye. Well, if you liked what you saw, please leave a like. If you want me to cover any other Pokemon lines, or you want Professor Sassafras and I to talk on anything else Pokemon related, or you wish to answer any of the questions, please comment. And as always, if you liked what you saw and you want to see more, smash that subscribe button. Well, I'm off to bed, trainers. Finally, I get to relax after a very, very long week. Thanks for watching. Palm out!